Big cars usually means big price tag. And if you wanted to save your well-earned money and get an affordable 7-seater, then it'd be about as exciting as an ITV3 drama. But that's not necessarily the case with this, the new Chery Tiggo 9, a hybrid 7-seater SUV. And it might just be the best Chinese car to enter the UK, because look at it. It's grand, certainly looks enormous next to me, and with it coming at just over £43,000, it's on par with the Skoda Kodiaq. It certainly underpins the X-Trail and top spec Kia Sportage, whilst giving you 2 extra seats. Now its price tag might be less than its counterparts, but does it have enough to beat them? First off, let's talk looks, because the Tiggo 9 certainly doesn't shy away. It feels very modern, it's grand, which you're going to expect from a 7-seater. It can't be understated that this is a very big SUV. You get 20-inch alloy wheels from standard, although I say standard, they only actually have 1 spec, meaning that everything you see in this video, you will get with the Tiggo 9. It has a bold SUV presence in the sense that it's kind of gone away from that modernised flush look that a lot of new cars come with, especially Chinese cars. Now I know that's usually synonymous to the EVs, whereas this is a plug-in hybrid, so you're going to get that rugged SUV stance out on the road, and you certainly do with this bold front grille. You get accentuated front bumper, LED headlights and daytime running lights. There isn't loads going on, it is mainly just that front grille, but I don't think it necessarily needs it. It just has a certain aura about it. It has that sense of it being a very, very premium SUV without necessarily providing that accentuated price tag of the Land Rovers, the Range Rovers, even the Bentleys of the world. Now, I'm not saying this could rival a Bentley in any shape, but it's got that edge about it, and especially them alloy wheels. I absolutely love the look of them. They're not just some plastic trims thrown on. They're not something we've seen millions of times before in the car world. They're something new, and that's what I love, especially with it starting at just over £43,000. Overall, I just don't think you can argue with its looks. It looks fierce, it looks bold, it looks posh, but it's not going to make you sell a kidney. The looks department isn't the only area which the Tiggo 9 stands out, because underneath your bonnet you'll get a 1.5 litre turbo engine twinned with that electric motor to create that hybrid powertrain. Nothing exciting about that, but what certainly is exciting is with the help of an all-wheel drive system, this absolute machine can produce 580 newton meters of torque and 0-60 of just 5.4 seconds, which in matter of fact is quicker than most sporty hatchbacks out there. It's even quicker than a lot of electric SUVs, and this is a lot bigger, a lot heavier than them. So the fact that this can get 0-60 in 5.4 seconds is a feat of engineering. And it just goes to show, dads, if you need to switch out for a 7-seater, doesn't mean you're losing out on an exciting driving experience. Along with that very impressive performance, you'll also get rather practicality, because you can get 87 miles of pure electric driving, meaning it can drive in full EV mode, which is only going to save you pennies down the line. It will reduce the amount of time you need to go through a petrol station, especially if you keep it topped up. Now the recorded miles per gallon is around about the 40 mark, but if you actually utilize that hybrid system to its true capability, constantly keeping it topped up, then expect to get around the 100 miles per gallon mark. The interior is where the Tiggo 9 really excels, and almost Chery are spoiling you. Not necessarily for its looks, although it is premium, it feels smart. It kind of feels like a carbon copy of the Tiggo 8, just that little bit bigger and maybe a little bit posher with just the way things are laid out and the different finish on them. But it certainly feels very much in the same family, and it definitely looks like a car that you'd want to drive. Quite often if you're in the market for a 7-seater, it'd be more for its space and go, yeah, that'll do, that will fit all my cases, that'll fit all my kids in, yeah, I like the price point of that. Whereas this is something you actually would want to drive. Before I go into all the tech, because you get absolutely loads, as I said, there's only 1 spec level, so you get essentially every feature inside the Tiggo 9. The actual finish, it's slightly more premium than Tiggo 8. It's not necessarily a scratchy plastic or something that sounds a little bit cheaper. It has a really nice finish on the dashboard, chrome controls all over. You get spongy dashboard. That For me, a dashboard shows whether the manufacturers tried to make this premium or tried to cut corners, because quite often you could easily just put plastic there and get away with it. In fact, to put leather on it, it's spongy, really good. Everything just well built. There's no rattle whatsoever. Loads of space and storage. You're going to expect that. It's massive. It'd be weird if there wasn't storage with the sheer size of the exterior. Wireless phone charger with air vent to keep it cool. Again, loads of space underneath. Not too many physical controls, the only one being your drive mode selector. It's a little dial in the middle, which I quite like, rather than just a little switch, and shortcuts for your climate controls. That is all controlled within the infotainment screen, which most of the time I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of. I would much rather actual dials down here, but they kind of made it streamlined. You've got shortcuts, and it's not too much of a faff, especially when it comes with the onboard helper. Hello, Chery.
I'm listening.
Set fan speed to 3.
Okay.
So if you're on a long drive and you don't really want to take your eyes off the road, then you can do that. Nice premium edge. You'll also get heated seats for both the driver, passenger, and in the back, as well as ventilated seats and heated steering wheel. And this is kind of what really sets the Tigo 9 apart from other 7-seaters. The fact that it's 43,000 pounds and it's got a built-in massage function for both the driver and the passenger. And let me tell you, it's actually rather nice. You get 3 different settings, so you can have it as strong or weak as you like. You've then got 5 different sort of configurations in that massaging. Oh, that's lovely. That is actually really nice. I thought it was going to be a bit jarring, a bit too sort of firm. I might keep that on for the rest of this filming. That's got right in me not. That's lovely. If the seats couldn't get any more functions to them, then you do have electronic functions on your doors. You will get a 540-degree around view monitor, just showing again how premium this car actually is. And even better, self-parking feature. And that addition of the self-parking technology only just makes this car feel like the true real deal. And it's actually very straightforward to use, because we go into your settings, you then apply the brake, press start parking, accept, and it'll do the work for you. There's none of this having to keep putting your foot on and off the brake. It's fully automated, so you can just sit back, relax, and the car will park perfectly for you. And considering this is a large SUV, even bigger than a lot of SUVs on the market, having that feature just makes it so much easier. You don't have to be worried about parking anymore. It does it itself. Look at that in one. Didn't even need to pull out and straighten up. You'll of course get the likes of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, built-in sat-nav, so many customizations within this screen. I feel like some manufacturers might be worried about these Chinese cars, because you get a lot of car for your money with the Tigo 9. You will get an abundance of driving modes. You don't just get the usual Eco, Normal and Sport. You will also get snow, sand and off-road, which is good. It can drive in the snow, so it's very apt this time of year when the country seems to grind to a halt with an inch of snow, whereas the rest of Europe are just plodding on as normal. Don't know what it is about this country and snow. We just can't handle it. The interior of the Tigo 9 just keeps giving and giving. It's almost like the rear seats are just duplicates of the front, because you get just as many luxuries. Heated and ventilated seats as shown before, but you actually get controls in the back. You don't have to keep bombarding the passenger or driver by going turn it on, turn it off. You get separate climate controls in the back, as well as 4 air vents. You get 2 in the middle and 2 on the side. So much space and storage. Charging ports in that centre console. Not only do you get privacy glass, but you also get sun visors, which are integrated into the door. If I could actually work them properly, that's better. Fold down armrest, and just so much comfort for a 7-seater. Looking at it and sitting in this seat here, you wouldn't necessarily think you're in a mid-range 7-seater SUV. This certainly feels a lot more premium. Also, it's being a 7-seater, you're going to have a 3rd row. Normally you would just put the shortest in the back because it's limited leg room, but in the Tigo 9 you can actually move the 2nd row, so you don't necessarily always have to put the shortest in the back. The shortest people can actually benefit from the luxuries in here, because in the 3rd row it's fairly limited. There's a little bit of space and storage, and obviously not as comfy as seats. But overall, there's just nothing to complain about in this interior. It just feels so much beyond its price point. 43,000 for this luxury? Bargain. It's clear to see that the Tigo 9 is a very large SUV, but its boot capacity certainly excels that point, and this could be one of the most practical 7-seaters out on the market, because underneath the automatic tailgate, you'll get 819 litres of boot capacity. Now that is with the third row folded down. Fold them up and you're going to get around the 143 mark, which isn't necessarily the issue around the Tigo 9. It's kind of the issue around a lot of 7-seaters, when if you actually were to utilise that third row, then your boot capacity is rather limited, but I'm sure you'll find a way around that. But that 819 litres storage capacity shouldn't be understated, because if you compare it to a mid-size, even a large SUV, they will only reach them figures if you drop the second row. The fact you've got 5 seats and 819 litres is rather impressive. And if you are smaller, thinking, well, how am I going to be able to get that third row up? It's very straightforward. Although, clearly needs to go to the gym because they are a little bit stiff. But I'm 5'5" and I can do that pretty easily. Then to fold them down, just a little switch, just like so. Out on the road, and it does just feel so bougie and just comforting. It's a large SUV, yes, it feels large out on the road, but it doesn't feel like you're driving a bus. The steering isn't so stiff and heavy that you almost have to proper force it down and you need to start going to the gym to actually drive your car. It seems to just be effortless the way it takes on corners. It's not really shaky at all, it doesn't feel stiff. I think the suspension could be a little bit firmer, you kind of feel it on that back end. That is my only downside to driving experience, because as for its performance, well, for a 7-seater, it's probably as good as you're going to get for this price point. Unless Porsche or Lamborghini release a 7-seater, I don't think you're necessarily going to get better than this. Because if we really want to test it out,
Normal mode.
let's put it in sport mode,
Sport mode.
and give it a right whirl. Whoa! Now that's a quick SUV, alright. That's what you want from a car of this size, because you don't want to get a 7-seater or even a large SUV that's got 5 seats and it just be really dull to drive. You want to be able to just nip out to the shops in it and not be like, oh, feeling like it's a massive effort. You don't want to then have to get a second car to actually gain from their benefits. You want that type of pull off the line. I mean, obviously that's helped for the fact it's got a hybrid system. You can get that instant torque with it utilising that electric motor, meaning you can actually drive in full EV mode. Switches are in the centre console. But even still, if you have it in hybrid mode, you're still getting so much force. It doesn't feel as forceful as an electric SUV. And it's just like the fact that you can get off-road mode, you can get snow mode, even sand mode. Now, if you're driving in the UK, I highly doubt you're going to be using sand mode. But that doesn't matter for me. The fact that they've included that, along with massaging seats, heated and ventilating seats, not just in the front but in the back, and heated steering wheel, with all the stuff in the infotainment screen, the fact you get adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, blind spot detection, 540-degree around view monitor, there's generally no modern day car feature that is missed out in this. The only ones you would say are missed out are the likes of Netflix and a karaoke being included in the infotainment screen. Does this need it? Not at all. Because it feels premium, it still feels modern, whilst not feeling too overdone. It certainly doesn't feel like a fashionable car. It feels like it's built for purpose. For me, this is just a true sign of where the car market is at. It felt for a while that we weren't necessarily getting a lot for our money, and there was almost that weird stage where you'd have to get top specs to actually benefit from some really good features. Now we're getting all these Chinese brands coming over that are giving cars and almost throwing away features like they're nothing. I only think that this is going to be a starting point and a big turning point for the rest of the car market. Other manufacturers going, hang on a minute, we need a bit of that. Because for 43,000, you're getting a 7-seater that's a plug-in hybrid that not only looks good, it performs very well. And I just think you're in the market for a 7-seater, why would you go for an X-Trail when this is pretty much the same price? and you can have a massage on the drive. I know which one I'd rather pick.